Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, and today I bring to you the best Lance guide for beginners. And we're going to start off with the pros and cons of Lance. So, with the pros, we're going to start off with the pros. It has one of the strongest guards in the game, along with the ability to use power guard. So, the Lance is a very defensive weapon, and it also has a great range. So, you're going to be able to defend and poke like a Spartan from 300, and just blast your monsters by guarding against their attacks, and then stabbing them with your giant spear. And it also has this really cool dash attack that allows you to stay close to a monster. This will allow you to close range relatively quickly, and there's a lot of fancy things you can do with it. The Lance also requires minimal movement. Well, that brings us, if you like not having to move around and be erratic, the Lance is for you, because it is a very, like I mentioned, it's a very defensive weapon, and you will be mostly guarding against attacks and minimally moving around to take out your monster. Of course, that also is a con. You have a very small dodge range with the Lance. The Lance, when you hop to the side, it's literally like a bunny hop. You will not roll, you will not duck, dodge, and weave. You will literally hop to the side, or you can back hop with the Lance. So, with that being said, the Lance doesn't have a large dodge range, and it leaves you to where you have to guard a lot. With that being said, you must invest in guard skill to be the most effective. I don't know why why some guys out here are being like, oh, damage, damage, damage. No. In Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise, and the main series games, the Lance is known for being a defensive weapon. That's what you're going to have to do. If you're going to master it, you must invest in guard, because guard allows you to block damage, and you'll be using the power guard a lot and counter thrust with the Lance. With that being said, it can feel slow and cumbersome, so you're not going to be a ninja, you're not going to be Sonic the Hedgehog, you're going to be a turtle. You will turtle, and the turtle will have a spear, and that spear will poke monsters to death. With that, the Lance can feel slow, but that's the purpose of it. You're not going to move around a lot with the Lance, you are going to put up your shield, and then defend, and then stab. With that being said, you need a lot of patience and skill to master the Lance. As simple as the Lance can be, it actually takes a whole lot of skill and patience, because you need to know monsters' attack patterns, and you need to be very patient, otherwise you're going to take a lot of damage, because you're not going to be in a ample or the optimal guarding position with the Lance. Moving forward, the Lance has a variety of weapons, and we're going to start off with the non-elemental weapons. You have the Iron Lance, which is a basic iron weapon for the Lance. You have the Cool Lance from Kuluyaku, which also gives you a 10% affinity to it. You have the Carapace Lance from Barath, and in addition to these, you have the elemental weapons. So you have the Poison version, which is the Blooming Lance from Pukei-Pukei. You have the Thunder. For Thunder, we have the Thunder Lance for Tobi-Kadachi. For Water, we have the Aqua Lance from Gyrototis. For Ice, we have the Glacial Lance from Legiana, and for Fire, we have the Flame Lance from Rathalos. And here's a note, Zinogre and Barioth also have Lance weapon types, and I will save those for the advanced guide, because I can't build them yet, as I have not slayed them yet. And now we go on to the Lance's basic combos, which is the 3-hit triple poke or the triple thrust combo. In order to do this, you must tap to attack. So tap to attack in order to execute the triple poke or thrust combo. And this is the standard combo for the Lance. In Monster Hunter World and in Iceborne, if you play the Lance like I did, well, I didn't play it as much as Dual Blades, but it was fun because all you did was poke, 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 dodge, poke, poke, poke. It was a lot of fun. If you are targeting the head or a high part of the monster, instead you will perform the 3-hit high thrust combo. So, as you see in this example right here, instead of thrusting directly in front of you, you will thrust above, or stabbing it, mostly stabbing. At any point, you can dodge during the combo, so don't feel like you have to do all 3 pokes. You could do 1 poke dodge, or you could do 1 poke and then 1 or 2 pokes, and then you could dodge to the side or back hop. And this moves us forward to one of the most iconic abilities of the Lance. If you play World, Iceborne, Rise, etc., this is what makes the Lance so dang good. It is the fact that it has multiple types of guard. For Monster Hunter now, though, you have the guard and the power guard. And the Lance has 2 types. Again, the guard and the power guard. The first one is your regular guard. To do this, you tap and hold. If you paid attention to the Sword and Shield tutorial, you tap and hold the guard. It's the same thing for the Lance. But that's not even the one you'll be using the most. The one you will be using the most is the second one, and that is called the power guard. This blocks more damage than the regular guard, and it also has an animation where your shield will go blue/white. It's blue/white, I don't know, like if you want it, whatever color you want to call it, but yeah, it's like blue/white. That's what happens when you go into power guard. To do the power guard, you tap and hold to guard, and then you swipe down to get into power guard. So tap and hold, swipe down, this will begin the animation and put you into power guard. But here's a note, the power guard animation doesn't last forever though. You have to use good timing, so it requires good timing and knowledge of the monster's attack patterns to effectively use power guard. One of the best things about power guarding is the counter thrust. So after you power guard, you'll counter thrust. If you block an attack using power guard, your lance will turn red and automatically attack the monster with a counter thrust. And the counter thrust does more damage than the regular poke/thrust. Here's a note though, if you aren't attacked after the power guard animation finishes, you'll automatically perform a counter thrust. So if the power guard animation finishes, like I mentioned before, you will automatically perform a powerful counter thrust if nothing attacks you after that animation.
Give them nothing, but take from them everything!
This is exactly what you will do as hunters. Just like the Spartans from the Mighty 300, you will take everything, you will give nothing to the monster, but you will take from them everything. You will take all their body parts, their horns, their wings, etc. And then you will use them to make weapons and armor. And then you will kill their brethren with those weapons and armor. Dang, that's actually pretty dark. But you know what? That's what makes you cool as a lance user. And another thing that's cool about being a lance user is that you could use the dash attack. So if you swipe up while you guard, so first you have to guard, tap and hold the guard, then you swipe up, and this allows you to perform the dash attack. This attack makes your hunter charge towards the monster. If you connect with the monster during this animation, you will do a multi-hit damage attack. So as you see, as you see in the example, I'm running towards the monster, and as my lance connects, it is doing multiple hits of damage. But the thing is, there's also several things you can do during a dash attack. So there's several things you can do with the dash attack. You could dodge left or right while dashing towards monsters. So if a Rathian or Rathalos decides to hurl a fireball at you, you could dodge left or right and then continue to charge towards the monster. Second thing you could do, by tapping during a dash attack, you could perform a powerful thrust attack. So as you see right here, I'm going to tap, or this happens like after the attack animation. You can go ahead and do a powerful thrust attack. That does a lot of damage. But one of the coolest things about this move is that you can swipe up during a dash attack, and this allows you to do an airborne thrust. So you tap and hold the guard, you swipe up to do a dash attack, then you swipe up again, and this will have your hunter leap towards the monster, and you will do a powerful airborne thrust. It covers a lot of ground, and it's definitely one of the coolest things about the dash attack. And you know what's the best thing about the dash attack? Well, guess what? Your special skill is actually the dash attack. A lethal, full throttle thrust that penetrates through all defenses. And has 3 levels. At level 1, you do 100% of damage, level 2, 105%, and level 3, 110%. And just like the regular dash attack, you could do 2 follow-up attacks. So if you tap during the move, you do a powerful thrust. And for number 2, if you swipe up during the move, you will do an airborne thrust, just like you see an example right here. So you could do a powerful thrust after that, and you could swipe up and do a powerful airborne thrust. And it looks super cool and does a lot of damage. But here's a note, you are invincible while using this move, but you could still take fast passive effect damage. So for example, poison and burn will still do damage to you even though you're invincible during this move. So if you are affected by either of those status afflictions or you're taking passive damage, it's still going to happen even if you use your special skill. And this is the Lance's Perfect Evade. So if you execute a Perfect Evade with the Lance, tapping after that, after the Perfect Evade, allows you to do a wide sweep attack. So if you Perfect Evade, bam, you do a wide sweep attack. The Perfect Evade can also be executed from multiple angles as well. So there's multiple different ways you could do a Perfect Evade with the Lance. You get to do it side to side, and you could do it during a back hop as well. So side to side during a back hop. And what's even cooler about the Perfect Evade, you can also do this while dash attacking. So if you don't completely dodge a fireball from Rathian, you can, guess what? You could Perfect Evade while you're dash attacking and take no damage with the Lance. In addition, as with all melee weapons, you have full aim mode. So by tapping on the tab on the top right, you could toggle full aim mode on or off. Full aim mode off centers the monster and allows you to use lock on if you have it, while full aim mode on allows you to target specific body parts by tilting your screen. And you can use the reset aim button near your potion button, like right there, to recenter your target if the monster goes off screen. Although here's the thing about the Lance, you'll want to use lock on the most because the Lance has a great range and you could see attacks to power guard them. When you do full aim mode on, you zoom in, and because of that, unless you are really good at looking at a monster just dead on, you're not going to be able to use power guard effectively. So just use aim mode off and use lock on. It's literally the best thing you could do with Lance and makes life a hell of a lot easier for you. And here's a basic Lance build for beginners. I keep seeing all the Lance guys go, use this advanced one, use this advanced one. Yeah, most people probably aren't using a Lance right away, or they're going so attack heavy when you should go defense. This is for beginners again, so if you're going like, oh my god, this is expert endgame, post-game, shove it, this is for beginners. You use any weapon, preferably the Kulu Lance early on for the extra affinity. You have the Kulu Helm for lock-on, the Leather Body for attack boost, Barath Van Braces for guard, the Kulu Waist for evade extender, and the Kulu Greaves for critical eye. Again, this is the beginner's build. I will doing an advanced build and post-game guild and endgame / post-game build for the advanced guide. And here are my tips and tricks for the Lance. The Lance can dodge side to side and back hop, so don't forget you can dodge side to side and you can back hop with the Lance as well. Typically, you will do the triple poke. So the triple poke or the triple thrust is your typical combo. Then you will dodge once to the side or back step, then do triple poke again. So triple poke, side step, back step, rinse and repeat. And don't forget you can dodge while doing a dash attack. Outside of the two movements I mentioned above, you will be mostly using Power Guard to counter thrust against monster attacks. The Power Guard is literally one of the best things about the Lance, and it's the reason why. Power Guard over dodging, because your window of dodging is so small, it's hard to reposition with the Lance, so Power Guard is going to be your primary play with the Lance, and it's why it makes the Lance so dang good. The Lance can Power Guard, and it can even Power Guard through things like roars and projectiles. That's what makes it so amazing, and you should use the Power Guard and Master Power Guarding if you want to be an expert / master with the Lance. From that being said, I will be making the advanced / master's guide in the future for the Lance. Please do me a huge favor. This took a while because, you know, trying to compare things over and over, looking at World and Iceborne gameplay from when I played it, and trying to compare, mix, and contrast with Monster Hunter Now gameplay to see if everything's consistent. Takes a lot of work. So, with all that effort, I hope this Lance guide really does help you out, and it's really thorough. So I make sure all my weapon guides are really thorough, and this Lance guide is very thorough. So please do me a huge favor with that. Please like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. I'd really appreciate it. Good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.